In today's video, we're going to talk about my Mossberg 940 Pro Tactical Semi-Automatic 12-gauge shotgun. Talk about why I chose this one for a semi-automatic shotgun, what my experiences with it have been over the last few months, and some things I really like about it, why you might want to consider this one if you're looking for a semi-automatic shotgun, and a couple things that I would change if it were up to me. We'll talk about all that coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose. My name's Brian. Thanks for joining me. And as I said, today we're going to talk about this Mossberg 940 Pro Tactical. This thing is around the $1,000 mark shotgun, semi-automatic shotgun from Mossberg that was developed with a significant input, my understanding is, from Jerry Michalik, who certainly knows a thing or two about shotguns. And so it's got some really great features on it from strictly a shotgun standpoint, but it's also got some pretty good features on it from more of a self-defense tactical style shotgun. And we're going to talk about those. And I think the best thing to do is take you over to the old tabletop here and do some close-ups, and I'll show you the features of this thing, how it works, some of the things I think are really cool, and again, some of the things a couple things maybe are not as cool as I would like them to be. So let's get to that. You want to? Okay, so here's the Mossberg 940 Pro Tactical, and this thing is 37.5 inches from front to back, weighs 7.5 pounds, fully loaded with 12-gauge buckshot. Mine weighs 8 pounds even. So let's just start from the front to the back. Okay, starting at the business end, this thing comes loaded with the Mossberg AccuChoke system with a cylinder choke in it. Then it has a very nice fiber optic bead sight, a barrel clamp with M-lock slots on both sides, on the top, this side and this side. Moving on down, we've got a nice checkered fore-end, nice grip there, an oversized bolt release and an oversized bolt handle and an oversized bolt release. A very nice loading ramp there that's pinch free, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. And the Mossberg top-mounted, tank-mounted safety, which I really like a lot. Going on down, this thing has an adjustable length of pull with these spacers right here and a very nice padded buttstock. It also comes with a sling swivel installed. So let's talk about a couple of these features that this thing has that I really like, and then maybe a couple of changes that I would make if I had my druthers. Oh, I forgot to tell you one more thing. This thing comes drilled and tapped, already ready for an optic, and it is a direct mount shield RMSC pattern, and it's actually available with a Holosun HS407K optic on it. If you want to buy it that way, you can get it come from the factory like that. Let's see if there's anything else that I'm missing. So this thing has what they call a clean running gas system, and they're saying that it's good for up to 1,500 rounds without cleaning. So that's pretty cool. Let's see. Has an enlarged beveled loading port. I think I mentioned that. A good loading port. An elongated elevator and an anodized follower for smooth operation. So that's just going to help you prevent you getting that thumb bite pinch right there, because this thing is long enough where it doesn't catch your thumb. And it's also beveled here on the sides. You can hopefully see that bevel, so it just makes it really easy to load fast, which is kind of what you want in a tactical shotgun, right? Let's see if there's anything else that I need to bring up. Okay. Oh, and it has a quick empty mag release, which is also pretty cool. I'm just going to show you that now, then we'll show you about the loading. So the way that works is you push your elevator up and just pop the push straight on the center of the bolt release, and the shells will pop right out. You can just load them out without having to cycle them through the chamber, which is a lot safer. This thing will hold 7 2¼ inch rounds. Has a 3-inch chamber, and there's 7. And you can see the anodized follower in there, kind of orange. So pretty cool there. Let's lock it back. And like I said, a couple things I really, really like about this, and then I'll tell you about my experience shooting it. So first of all, I like the oversized bolt handle because if you're in a hurry, you ain't got time to be fumbling for some little stick. And just nice and knurled. And I also like the oversized bolt release. No little bitty lever you got to fumble around find. You just pop it. You want to load it around in and pop it. However you want to do it. I also really like, I like the Mossberg's safety. I like that it pushes forward for fire and back for safe. That just makes sense to me. It's right up here. You don't have to fumble around the trigger. You don't have to try to push buttons on with your finger. You keep your trigger finger where it needs to be when you need it to be there, either off the trigger when you're not on target, or on the trigger when you're on target. No fumbling around, pushing buttons down here like a lot of really great firearms have. I really like that safety like that. It makes sense. It's going forward. That's the way the rounds are coming out. I like the barrel clamp, sort of. We'll talk about that. I like that it's got adjustable length of pull. I really like this loading ramp here. It's really, really easy to use. There's no, you have to think about your thumb. You don't have to think about pinching your thumbs or anything like that. You just put them in there and go. And these, by the way, are Hornady critical defense buckshot, and they are by golly hot. So I also really like the fact that it's tapped for a red dot. So those are things I really, really, really like about this. Also, I really like the price. This thing was around $1,000 for a very, very capable semi-automatic shotgun that, again, was designed with the help from Jerry Michelik. So it's absolutely really good. Now let's talk about performance, though. And then we'll talk about a couple things that I wish I would do differently if I were designing this or if I had my druthers. This thing performed so far flawlessly for me. Now, I don't have thousands of rounds to it. I've probably got a couple of hundred rounds to it. But I took it to a, believe it or not, I took it to a sporting clay event. It was a kind of a charity event I got invited to. And it's the only semi-automatic shotgun I have. Typically, you don't want to use pumps in a sporting clay because you're trying to shoot doubles and stuff. And so anyway, I took this baby out here, and when I pulled this out, it was surrounded by all these Belgian beauties and over and unders and really nice shotguns. And I got a couple of comments and a couple of strange looks from people, but out of my foursome, our team, I had the best round with this baby, and a couple of guys had some really nice Belgian beauties. So got to say, it performed just fine for me. And so I had zero malfunctions with this thing. I've not cleaned it. Since day one, I did not want to clean it. I wanted to go ahead and just, after I cleaned it, when I first got it, I cleaned it, and then I hadn't cleaned it since then. I've got a couple hundred rounds to it. I want to see how long it'll go, but it's actually doing really, really well. Now, so as far as performance goes, I cannot fault it. A couple things that I wish were a little different on it, and we'll wrap this up. So first of all, this barrel clamp is polymer. And it's probably fine. I don't see there's probably nothing wrong with it. I just wish that it were maybe aluminum or some sort of metal. I think that I would like that better, just because I'm old school, right? And the only other thing, the only other thing that I'm a little disappointed in Mossberg, right there. I'll put the forend back on. You see, it's got that little bit of a pop to it. See it move? I have taken this thing apart again 2 or 3 times and tried to see if I did something wrong, put it back together wrong, or couldn't, but there's not really any way that I can see that it'll get any tighter than that. It's just got a little flex to it. So it doesn't affect the performance of it, doesn't affect anything other than it just annoys me because it just makes it seem a little bit less than optimal. So I may contact Mossberg and see if this is a problem, if I should send it back to them, they should maybe correct that, or if it's just the way it is, and I just have to live with it. I don't think if I had to use this for self-defense that the UZ would care about that. So there you go. That is hopefully not a too rambling look at the Mossberg 940. Chuck Norris can dribble a bowling ball. There's a really great video from TFB TV out showing a 500 round shoot down, break down this thing or whatever, burn down video, I think they call it. I recommend watching that if you're thinking about getting one of these. This thing performed flawlessly in their 500 round burn down test as well. So I got to say, I'm pretty happy I got it. I think it is an excellent choice for a semi-automatic shotgun. So that's it. It's Mossberg 940 Pro Tactical, and I appreciate you watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival is not an accident, so be prepared. I'll see you next time.